So I got the question, yo Skills, does this build work on lower shade levels? And I wanted to answer the question, and I'll show you the build in a second, and show you a little bit of how I play it. I'm currently at 768 shade level on this account. It's a newer account, and I've been using it since I hit about shade level 200. All I did was farm the open world for the pieces I needed, and I started on hard difficulty, worked my way to challenging, and now you can see I'm doing heroic with 4 directives on, and I'm still able to one-shot these enemies, even the named enemies. Now, I'll tell you right off the bat, there's no expertise on my weapon, so everything is based off of the stats on my gear and the stats on my weapon, right? Nothing else is affecting this. Oh, and my shade watch, which isn't fully maxed out. I do get the 10% weapon damage. I did spec into that, and I spec'd into critical hit damage. And then I think I put a little bit into headshot damage, maybe 3% right now, or 4%. And then I have, I think maybe 8% critical chance. So not fully maxed out either, as you can see, but it didn't start like that. Obviously, if you're starting off your shade watch new, you always want to spec into that weapon damage first, 10% weapon damage, and then maybe headshot damage if you like doing headshot builds, or crit damage, crit chance, depending on whatever you want. But at the end of the day, your goal is to try to get at least 1,000 shade level. And a build to help you get your shade levels fast is something like this, which you can do at a lower shade level. Allows you to add harder difficulty. That means your rolls are going to be a little bit better. Allows you to put more directives, which means you're going to get more XP for completing those control points, public executions, anything you plan on doing solo on heroic, you'll be able to do with this build, which is amazing. And that's why it's so effective. I always recommend for any new returning players, get that one build that allows you to farm other builds. Now, do you have to run a one-shot build to farm stuff fast? No. What this does is allows you to farm things fast, right? Like, and your time is money. So being able to farm multiple builds, the faster you can do it, well, that means the more builds you can have. Like if you want to have a skill build, a striker build, a heartbreaker build, a healer build, hybrid build, well, you can create all those builds because you're able to get through the content faster and able to farm better rolls, max gear mods, and stuff like that. So that is something what I always recommend when anybody gets to level 40 is start to farm that one build, and this is going to be that build for you new and returning players. I just think that you can get through content a lot easier. If you're doing challenging, you'll be able to one-shot everything. And when you do challenging, you'll be able to get better gear. And then hopefully, once you tweak that gear, you'll be able to go all the way up to heroic difficulty. As you guys see here, I'm 770 shade level at this moment of the video. So I'm gonna show you a little bit more gameplay so that way you guys can just see the gameplay a little bit more of it, because I want you guys to really feel comfortable with it. We're sitting at 770 shade level. Again, what I'll say is I started doing heroic control points, heroic open world activities around 250, maybe 200 shade level. So I farmed it. I did a couple things. Once I got the builds, I was about 200, and then I was able to run through these with ease and not have much issues at all. And now I'm sitting at 770, and I farmed PvP builds, PvE builds. I've even done the incursion on this account, and it was all because this build allowed me to farm better gear to be able to do that other content. And I'll tell you, the one thing you will struggle if it's hard for you is landing that first headshot, because the first headshot might take 1 or 2 shots. Now, once you get it, the following shots are going to one-shot everything. So the first headshot, I always recommend, if you can see a purple enemy, a red enemy, hit those guys first. Red enemies one shot no matter what. Purple, maybe depending on your shade level, your build, it might be 2 shots. But then everything else you shoot is going to be a body shot. You'll be able to hit those shield guys, one-shot them. Now again, there are going to be enemies that you cannot one-shot, and I've explained that in the past. Any of those guys who have any types of helmets, what it does is if you shoot the body, it's going to proc the helmet, and then you have to aim at the head again. So those are the one enemies that may be a pain, especially when you're a little bit lower level, and say you have to hit them twice in the head. Well, it might struggle for you, but all you have to do is really line them up, right? Once you get those body shots, like this guy, I hit him once, I had to hit him twice, right? So you have to hit him once in the chest, it's gonna break the helmet, hit him again, and that's it. That's going to be the hardest part of this build, is when you do fight those enemies. But besides that, landing that first headshot shouldn't take you too much effort at all. Again, you see, I'm not perfect. I miss a couple shots, and everything else will go down once you hit them. Now, if you guys are enjoying this type of content where I give feedback like this, all I ask is just, leave me a thumbs up on the video. Any video you guys do watch, that's a great way to show your support. Drop the like on the video, and we're gonna get into the build real quick. And for you new returning players, highly recommend checking the full channel for build playlists for different things. I have tips and tricks, I have PvE build playlists, I have PvP build playlists, I have how to get the hunter mask, how to get high-end weapons, how to get named weapons, how to get exotics. Everything you need to know is on this channel. So hopefully you guys find this video useful. You drop me a thumbs up and let me know, have you tried this build, and at what shade level have you used it at that it's worked efficiently? For me, I've been able to do it at lower shade levels, and I've also played this on my PC account that currently hit 1,000 shade. So this one is on my PS5 account, my other one, and we're at 771 right now. So again, let's get into the build. I think you guys will enjoy it. So for the build, you've probably seen this plenty of times. It is a hotshot build, guys. This build is probably one of the best builds to run at any shade level, and I've tried to explain it to you in the past. This account only has 700 shade level. I've been using this build around 250. The only thing you need to farm is the hotshot pieces, which will go on the mask, the knee pads, the holster, and the gloves. And you can run the 4-piece. Obviously you guys know how this works by now, hopefully. If not, you can watch one of my more detailed videos. But we have weapon damage, and then we're just gonna have headshot damage on everything else on the build. We're running all reds, so we have headshot attribute and a headshot damage mod. You'll notice the rolls on this build aren't even maxed out. If we take a look at the hotshot pieces, you can see, well, in this one it is weapon damage, headshot damage. For the knee pad, same thing. Look at this, look how low we are. 9% weapon damage, 10% headshot damage, still one-shotting everything. So the rolls do not even have to be perfect, and I don't even have the white death on this build, and I'll show you in a second. And for the gloves, our 4th piece, look, not even maxed out, weapon damage, headshot damage. So it does not have to be a maxed out build. Now for the chest piece, you do want to have the Walker and Harris chest piece. That's going to be that 5% weapon damage. You have the weapon damage on the core attribute. You have headshot damage, crit chance or weapon handling works good there, and a headshot damage mod. Obviously, perfect headhunter is what allows this build to perform the way it does, and it allows you to one-shot once you get that first headshot. If you were listening when I was showing you the gameplay, I was explaining how you do that. And then for the backpack, we have the Rowdy backpack. So it gives us 10% marksman rifle damage. We have weapon damage, again, not maxed out, crit chance, headshot damage, very low rolled, headshot damage mod, and then obviously vigilance, increased total weapon damage by 25%. Now, when you do take damage, it does disable this buff for 4 seconds. But overall, this build is amazing. And if we go to the weapon, you can see I'm running the classic M44. This one is maxed out, marksman rifle damage, headshot damage, damage targets out of cover. So if you don't have the white death, you can use this one. Has determined after killing an enemy with the headshot, your next landed on any enemy will be a guaranteed headshot. I did buy the white death recently. I think I have it right here. Yeah, I think it's in my storage. The thing is, I don't have a lot of materials on this build, so since I got this one that was already max rolled, the only thing that I'm missing from the white death and on this one is the headshot damage is more on the white death, the name version of the M44. So this build will work with this. You don't have to have the name version, the white death. You can run a regular classic M44 and still do what I was doing. I have 35% headshot damage on the scope, 5% weapon damage, and 5% crit chance. You can even raise that headshot damage by switching out the scope if you want, and you can go right here. Where's it at? And get the digital scope, it's gonna give you another 10%. So for your secondary, you can run whatever you want. Since I am leveling this account, I just swap out my secondary to whatever. So the Iron Lung is only at 3, so I'm trying to get this one up. I had the Lady Death before, got it proficient. So on this account, what I do is I just swap out my secondary for any weapon because I'm gonna be using the White Death the classic M44 the whole time. Same thing with the pistol, you can run whatever you want. I just got this proficient. So what I'll do is I'll delete it. I'll probably put this one on, delete that one, and then just start working on this one, getting this one proficient. Same thing, you can do the same thing, just swap those weapons out so that way you can continue to get other items proficient. For your skills, I don't even run any skills with this. Again, I'm just using whatever skills on there. Ideally, if I were to only worry about having my skills that I don't have, I do like this tactician drone that you get from the specialization of the sharpshooter, or you could just run a scanner pulse with good, and then you could run a reviver hive. Again, I am trying to level mine up so you guys can see. I am just running different skills, just whatever I can do to level these up to get my expertise up, because on this account I'm only level 13. If you notice, my weapon is just proficient, no expertise on it, still one-shotting. Remember, you get that first headshot on a lower level, then body shot, body shot, body shot. Let's take a look at the stats. You'll see 23% crit chance, 45% crit damage, 279% headshot damage, and then that's all you need to know. The build itself will do the rest. Amazing build, and this is it right here. Again, this is the one build that I use to level up. I use this build to level up my PC account from 200 all the way to 1000, and I'm currently using this to level up another account on PlayStation from, I think I've been using this around like 250, and we're at 772 now. So to me, the best build in the game to farm those shade levels, farm open world activities, do control points, and it will one-shot anything you need. All right, guys, I'll see you in the next one. Hey, nothing but skills out. Take it easy, everybody.